Welcome back to the Quality Coding stream. My name is John Reed, and greetings to Rick Lowe. I think you were in the UK, right? And Mudshark, as ever, in Sweden. Slap me if I'm getting it wrong. We are continuing our series in the midst of our turbulent world. I got it right. And as ever, I am trying to learn more and more how to be a better geek. A geek that's a human that's a geek. UK on a very warm, sunny evening. It's probably warmer there than it is here. Although here in California, San Jose, it is finally warming up a little bit again. It's been cold, really cold. But as a human who is a geek, I want to try to continue to do better, acknowledging other people, geeks and non-geeks, that we are all squishy people with feelings, with contexts, and we are not just nerds and geeks. We are people with living in places, some of them turbulent, some of them torn up by war, even. And so let's be kind to each other, shall we? Let me show you some stuff before we get into what we are going to do. A quick ad for something new that's just went up on the Industrial Logic site. If you go to industriallogic.com, into services and into technical training, and scroll down a bit and look at this. Here's a new workshop that's up. Industrial iOS development. And it is going to be fun. It's mainly going to be for folks wanting to learn iOS. So those of you watching, Diego, dude, welcome. Ha ha ha. So good to have you. For those of you who are on this stream, you don't need to learn iOS development, but you probably know people who would like to, or people at your companies who need training. This training is going to be unique in that we, that is me and John and Stephen, or some combination of us, we'll all work together on the content. We are going to teach not just iOS. We're going to teach iOS the way we want to do it. The way we think it is most helpful to do. That means we're going to sneak in some things into this course, and not sneak it in, but we're just going to make some assumptions. We're going to assume that we're doing continuous integration and continuous delivery. We're going to assume trunk-based development. Yeah, no worries. John, I reply to either Diego. We're going to assume trunk-based development. We're going to assume we're working in ensembles. We're going to assume that we're doing test-driven development. All these things, we're not expecting the students to know any of these things, of course, or any iOS. So this is for programmers who are brand new, want to learn iOS development. We are going to get them up and running, hands-on, with intensive good practices, just as a base assumption. So, micro testing, all the good things. So that to get there, go to Industrial Logic, technical training, and it should be a lot of fun. All right, this time for our session today, I want to get back to our discovery tree, and I had a good conversation yesterday with Steve Kuo, who is a fellow coach with me at Industrial Logic, who was part of the original team before joining Industrial Logic, the original team that invented the discovery tree system. In real life, of course, they used Post-its because those are the best, most adaptable things. I took a crack at adapting it to a virtual whiteboard like we have here. But when he showed me some stuff he was working on yesterday, I was like, wow, these are some changes I want to make. In particular, I was using these icons to show whether something was under construction or whether it was completed. And it works pretty well if you zoom in nicely. But one thing he stressed to me is that a discovery tree is an information radiator. You should be able to zoom all the way out and at a glance see it. Can you see it? Probably not. I mean, you see little blobs. So his technique, which I want to adopt, is to use colors. We'll have a color for to do, a color for work in progress, and a color for done. So let me, and also today I want to be more disciplined about really surfacing the work, not getting carried away with the code, but trying to work this tree better. So let's do that. Let me start with, let's see, the things that are done are this, this, and this, and let me change them to the done color, which means I can get rid of these icons. And then, oh no, those aren't done. Wrong color. Green. There we go. And the ones that have work in progress all the way up to the root, these are the blues. There we go. Delete the icons. And now we have a pretty picture where you can zoom all the way out and get a quick glance of like, where are the blues? You can sort of follow them down from the very top, the root of the tree. Oh, Diego, I totally got that work in progress icon from thinking back to early web days. Yeah. You're old. Anyway, we can zoom all the way out and you can see, the things that are green is good, green is done. The blues are in play. So you can quickly see, okay, we sort of swoop down here and we can find where we are. The yellows to be done. Another advantage of this color convention is that you can create new categories. For example, let's say if this were a real team and something was blocked, then, well, you know the color to use for that, right? Maybe more like red. There we go. Blocked, and it would get instant attention by any, like it would just pop out. Let me zoom all the way out. And let's just change one to, let's just pretend this one is blocked. Do that again. I mean, it's just staring you in the face. Alarms are going off. Another possibility is to say, okay, this is done, but is it ready for demo? Like it's done, meaning it's actually integrated, but it may not be done to the point of wanting to give a demo to the product person or to, better still, a real customer. And so you could say, well, let's have ready for demo. And this will be something else like, what's a other good color? I don't know, like a purple or something like that. And this way, the customer or the stand-in for the customer, the product person, can immediately spot, oh, here's a purple thing. I'm interested. Like, can I get a demo? So these are other ways I learned that you can use a discovery tree. Lots of fun. And discovery tree is clear. I just left a client that I worked with for a few months, and it was kind of a chaotic team. They like to follow the bunny trails. They like to follow the little trails and get lost in the details. Most nerds do, you know? That's not their fault. They're just nerds. Standard nerds. So I introduced this discovery tree once I learned about it and got there. We worked together on like visualizing, okay, how do we do this? And it brought such focus because you can see what's going on. You can tell where to work. And it's not, unlike a ticketing system, there are dependencies that are clear. It's not one-dimensional. It's a tree. In fact, it's more than two-dimensional because of the colors. So it's just a better representation of visualizing work. It's also, I want to mention this because this is something that I think they didn't do quite right, but you know, you celebrate your wins. Don't flesh out the children of something that's not in progress. Like I'm not going to worry about how to do the presentation verifier yet. We'll get there. There'll be plenty of work. That's not the goal. The goal is that if I can get this alert verifier converted over, that's great. And we are partway there. Okay. That's enough blabbering. It's time to code. By the way, as always, welcome. I see a few more folks have joined. And do say hello in the chat. It's always fun for me to know where in the world people are. I know where these, so far, where these folks are. But the other folks who are lurking or have been quiet, say hi. And it's just fun. It makes it more interactive. And what else was I going to say? Was I going to say anything else? I don't know. It'll come to me if we do. All right, so where are we? We are trying to provide, well, again, we can see this from the top down, trying to provide a Swift Package Manager version of this testing tool. To do that, I need to convert it all to a single language because right now it's mixed languages. There are 3 verifiers. We are working on the alert verifier. It has 3 parts that we need to convert. We've done the swizzling for this. We are presently working on the swizzling for UI alert action. We've done swizzling. We've saved the handler. Retrieving the handler, that is the closure or block, whatever, depending on which language you're in, the action handler for tapping a button on a dialog, an alert, like, you know, for okay, do this. That's the handler in here. So right now, retrieving the handler is still in Objective-C. Let's come back and let's start to code, baby. As always, we start by running tests to make sure we're green. Our goal is to stay out of red as much as possible, where not compiling is also red. And okay, so we're looking at UI alert action, UI alert action, and here we are. We're down to one single method. There's the handler. Oh, and we are getting an associated object. So we saved the handler in with a key. Now the key is garbage. It's foo. So let me call that out as another piece of work to do. Let's see, this is like use proper key. I don't know. Proper key. That might be good enough. It just needs to be enough for me to know what's going on. Right, so this is work to do to come up with a proper key. There is a key I would like to switch to. Oh, that's what it is. Switch key to Swift. Because over in the Swift side of things, where we have the extra properties, here's the key. But I'm having trouble like using it. So instead, I just defined this Objective-C thing and came up with a dumb, stupid name. So we'll switching away from it. That's one more thing. All right. Now, app code, unfortunately, is showing this in gray and saying that it's never used. This is a lie or a mistake. It has not picked up something, so let's see where it is. Okay, so here's where it's actually used. And this makes sense. It is in execute action for button. It gets the action, and then it gets the handler, which may be null or nil. And so it's got to check and see if there is one, then call the handler, pass the action to it. So it's already being used properly. It's just not defined in the right place. So this, I was about to say the words you should never say. This should be easy. It'll be easy with your help, because you are such good and helpful, knowledgeable people. All right, so let me copy this and let's go over to the Swift side of things, where we have, here's where it's saved with foo. So let me just slap this in here so I have it. And now let's start coding. Saying this is going to be, hey, Javier, long time no see. Welcome back. Yeah. A few folks watching. Welcome to everyone. Do say hi in the chat. In fact, let me just use my little boop my button here. Good to have you, Mr. Hopsodo. Right. So let's yeah, life happens, my friend. It is very true. Let's start defining mock handler. And now my pattern is to say mock handler 2. Continuing to do shoot, I'm spacing on the name of the parallel course of refactoring is to leave the old thing there. Darn it, what's it called? Now I want to know. This is going to bug me. If I go to industrial logic into e-learning, which is one of the best things we have, but there's nothing in Swift yet. But in the refactoring, let's see, refactoring strategies, refactoring tactics, color swap, that's not it. Virtual cutover. Now I'm trying to remember the name of this particular refactoring move or technique. I don't remember. Oh, we'll get back to it. Anyway, so let's see. This is going to be a function that takes where was it called again? Alert verifier. Handler action. Okay. Handler. Wait, the mock handler has no arguments. Okay. So no arguments. And it returns a optional alert action. Just to get it to compile, I'll say no, because I want to stay green. That's one of the things, right? Is to say let's just start this, but let's build it up slowly. So this should still be green. And now let's get the extra properties. Where I should be able to say get the object is self, the key is foo, and this will give us something, which I wonder how I've done this in the, like, did I just force it? No, doesn't look like it. I should be able to say this is going to be extra properties. Get that, and then on the extra properties, get the handler. Where is it? It's right down here. Oh, I need to be explicit probably about what type it is. So let's say it is that cannot convert. So guard let it else. Why is it complaining? Is this a real complaint? Cannot convert any to my specific thing, which is, that's sort of what I was expecting. But here's another case where I do that. Let's just go over here. Oh, as. There. Here I was looking on like the end of the line, but it flowed over to the next line. Okay, that's what it is. So this is as one of these, getting all nice and safe, like safe and getting the best parts of Swift, the ones that don't fight you so much. All right. I'm not sure about formatting, not going to worry about it right now. It returns nil either way. But now we should be able to say extra properties handler and probably just return that. Yeah. Whoop. Is it not the handler? I think I'm not returning the right thing. Hang on a second. Is this, the handler is a closure. All right. So this should be easy enough. This is a nice intention of app code is you can click on the light bulb, or you get really used to doing Option Enter and saying, change the return type, make it return the right thing. There we go. That is a very nice feature of app code. Now, do I like this formatting and stuff? I don't know. I don't care. All right, so now with this in place, here's the question. Can I call QCO mock handler 2? And will this pass? And it does pass. Hooray. There are a few changes it's made because I am doing something new, something fairly recent, and I don't know how long I've been doing it. I think it was in the last stream as well. I am automatically running Swift format because I discovered how to set that up in app code. So that's why it's indenting things and getting rid of stuff on blank lines here. I'm not going to worry about that. What is good is that we have now done parallel change. Parallel change, that's the name of the refactoring. You keep the old thing, you lay down the new thing. That's what we did right here. We laid down the new thing. Let me get rid of this comment. Here's the new version. It wasn't being called, and then I did a gradual cutover. In this case, there was only one caller, as far as I know, to cut over. So parallel change with a gradual cutover, and then finally, when everything is cut over, you can eliminate the old thing. So since tests are green and I have implemented some new functionality, let us commit. And this is a test supported procedural refactoring. So retrieve alert handler in Swift. And now we can continue with the refactoring. So let me be a little more just to illustrate, I want to be pedantic, even if it's at too granular a level here, and that this is, but to give you a better sense of what the discovery tree is like. And I said I wanted to stick to this, and I immediately strayed away from it, which is not a problem. There's a certain level, I think, where it makes sense. But so I first implement in Swift. So there was like that. How do I quickly draw a line? I don't. There's the cutover. Let's get this all happy, like, so you can see it. Again, just illustrating the power of the discovery tree. All right, so we've implemented it. So that's green. I have cut over the new call. So now the next step is to remove the Objective-C. There we go. So let's do that. As our next thing, we are going to get rid of this. I'm going to safe delete it. It thought nothing was calling it before. Now I'm pretty sure nothing is calling it, but I'll just do a safe delete, which removes it from both the header and the implementation. And let's run tests to make sure. And with that, we no longer need this what's called a category in Objective-C. You can, in Swift, you think of it more as an extension. There's nothing to do there. There is nothing in here. And we are left with, oh, foo. I can't get rid of foo yet. That's okay. Did I have that in there? Yeah. I'll say just make it a little more explicit there. And does that belong up here? Maybe it doesn't. Maybe it really, it's all part of retrieve handler work. So let me just do that. There we go. Another thing about discovery tree, as you can see, is that because it is based on the real world of Post-its, and one of the ideas of one of the reasons Agile coaches love Post-its, this, look at that. Whoa. Freakish weird. Just a little bit green on that one. One of the reasons Agile coaches love Post-its is because they are lightweight. This also is not as lightweight, but it is still very lightweight. You don't see me messing around with Jira tickets. Now, could you tie these to Jira tickets? Absolutely. You can have a ticket and just place it inside of one of these boxes. And that's what they do for real Post-it, real discovery trees with real Post-its, is they'll put the ticket number in there so that you can get to the details. But it is flexible, it's light. It let me say, oh, you know what, this is all still switching the key over. That's part of retrieve handler. Like that. All right. Remove old obj. This is now done. Don't you block me. I read a good thing. Okay, slight aside about daily stand-ups. First, I've learned that the term stand-up can be off-putting to people who are not fully abled, namely people who have trouble standing. Even if we're in a remote environment, it can still feel weird to them to say, oh, let's, time for stand-up. And it's like, I prefer to think of it as the daily sync or coordination. Oh shoot, I lost my train of thought. Oh, often people ask 3 questions. What did you do yesterday? What do you plan to do today? And are you blocked? There's a problem here. And the problem is that those may be the wrong questions. Diego, I'm going off of your statement that, those are the blocked ones. The questions are just slightly wrong. We've learned them wrong. That wasn't how they were intended. The intention is to ask not about people. What did you do yesterday? What do you plan to do today? Are you blocked? But instead to ask about the work. Which items, which tasks did we complete yesterday? Which tasks do we plan to complete today? And which ones are blocked? Same 3 questions. The focus is on the work, not the worker. This is very important. Because we don't want to optimize for 100% worker efficiency. We want to optimize for work efficiency. And if everyone is busy all the time, you are not going to get crap done. All right, that was my slight aside there. So here we go. Got rid of that stuff so I can say, yes, exactly. That's the problem. It becomes a cover your ass thing, and it's just status. That's pointless. That's pointless. The point is to coordinate and to say together, okay, what's next? Who's going to work on this one? Okay, these 2 people, and preferably it's 2 or more people, not solo. Strong preference there. Pair up. Okay, you guys go, or not you guys, you folks go and work on this. Who's going to work on that? And really quickly, figure out how the rough plan for the day. What's blocked, right? Not who's blocked. And then it's not a cover your ass exercise anymore. All right, so this is remove old, remove obj handler retrieval. Hey, learning is fun. Welcome back. I've also had some good past experience where the format is to start with a what's blocked question. It does surface some important things, right? Yeah, it really does. And this is not to say don't talk to individuals. That is, the focus is on the work. but I still want to acknowledge that there are humans present. And so an important part of a daily sync up is an emotional check-in to say, an easy one is, what's your weather? Like right now, I'm feeling good. So I'd say sunshiny. If you were, if one team member, they're not resources, they're colleagues, they're people. If one team member is feeling down, because of something personal going on, something maybe not even work related going on, shock. We can have lives outside of work. To say, well, I'm a bit cloudy or a bit foggy today, or I'm having thunderstorms. That's an important thing. Then the group can adjust around that reality. That this person may not be really like 100% able to do like what they are on a sunny day, and that's fine. And we adjust for that, and we adjust our plan. All right, commit. Next. So this is done. Remove the 2. Let's do this. This is a quick and easy one because I should be able to find QCO mock 2, QCO mock handler 2. I'm not going to worry about renaming stuff. The reason there's QCO on things is because of lack of namespacing, although since this is an extension, it might still be good. Anyway, what I did just there was a simple, like I didn't even think about it. This was a rename. It is like that, does that, run tests, and now this is remove 2 from method name. All right. So again, this might be too granular. It may be actually be slowing me down just a bit. But I'm not worried about that. I'm actually kind of liking the clarity of it. And to see that this simple act of switching the retrieve handler over from Objective-C to Swift actually has many parts to it, and it visualizes that. All right, let's see if we can't switch the key. Now that the key is only used in Swift, I think we can get rid of it. And this technically is probably like switch to the new key and then delete the old key. I'm just going to call that all switch. All right, so instead of foo, here's the key I want to use. So let's say associated object key. There it is. We'll give this a run, and we're green. And so now this key is actually being used. I see some more things here. Like now that it is all in Swift, I can probably get rid of some Objective-C annotations. Let's do it. Let's be pedantic. Try again. I like having these lines actually connected so that I can move things around as I need to. All right, we're still working on switch key. So this is also a really good, maybe being this pedantic, even if it slows you down a touch, it could really help with people who get distracted. And I'm thinking particularly of folks who have ADHD to say, oh shoot, we've got to remove the object C and it's like, okay, I'll put that in the tree. In fact, you don't have to put it in. I'll put it in for you if you get distracted with tree type stuff and you're like, oh, colors and lines. That's fine. I'll do it for you. And let's capture your thought, because folks with different minds are able to perceive things differently. Let's take advantage of it and turn it into a strength. Okay, so there's one more thing, and that is to remove the old. So now I should be able to say safe delete this. Oh, there it goes. It is gone, baby. There's nothing in here. And there's nothing in here. And so I think I can just pop them off. Now let me do this in steps. Just to be safe. Now I should be able to get rid of this completely. That's an exciting step. I got rid of the .h and .m's, and will it still, whoop! All right, let's see if I can get rid of it from here. Good. Okay, that was interesting because you saw I deleted the foo, and then there was something in me that, I mean, I knew I wanted to delete the files, but there was something in me that thought, I want to commit, because there, maybe it's just experience. Just to have a little warning that says this might be a little more complicated than I think. And in this case, it wasn't as easy as deleting. I had to go and make this other change of removing a place where the header file was imported. And so now this changes the project, deletes those, and gets rid of that header file. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Action. Yay, I'm going to put an exclamation point on that because I'm feeling really good. All right, let's come back here. So switch key is done. Deleting the files, I sort of snuck that in there. And now I have the reminder to say, and you know what? Let's remove the obj stuff. That's probably why I had it up here first, because technically the retrieve handler is now completely converted over, except it's got this bit of tech debt where we needed these before, these obj annotations, but it looks like we don't need them now. Let's find out. I'll delete one, run tests. I predict this will be fine. I'll delete this one and also run tests, and this should be fine. Love having the fast feedback from micro tests. 30 tests passing in 200 milliseconds. I am feeling good about this. Let's remove, don't need, is there anywhere else? Before I continue, let's see if there are other places in here. You know, this is kind of a question mark to me. I think these are okay to remove too, but it also leaves me wondering, have I left some in the previous one? Let's find out. Let me put that down as a question mark. This is I can glance and see, it's not quite fitting there. There we go. I can glance and see that, you know, I've already done UI alert controller, but maybe there's some junk I failed to clean up about it. I am liking this detailed, pedantic thing. Where do I put this even? This is not done. This is to do. I guess it goes up here. And these are ordered left to right in terms of like what's next. So I can say, you know, let's do that next, and let's see if we can't do this. Let's check the cleanup. There may be nothing to clean up, but I want to check. I worried about being pedantic, and yet I am super. If you do test-driven development with me, you know, you may be startled to see how tiny I try to make it, or with refactoring, how small I try to make the steps and commit those steps, like with micro commits. I suppose with anything, there is a balance, there's a learning, and there's flow, but all in all, there's a part of me that's starting to rest, seeing that I'm working on putting the details out. It's like if you do know anything about getting things done, GTD. GTD is a practice I want to get better at. I want to do a weekly review for myself today after I finish this stream. Getting things done is a discipline of getting things out of your head with the goal that your head otherwise is trying to hold on to the details and say, oh, I better not forget this thing. I better not forget this. I better not forget that. And so you're spending literally energy to try to maintain those things because your brain is worried that otherwise you might, you know, you'll forget about it. And so with GTD, the practice is get it out of your head and into a place that you trust. And your brain trusts that it's okay. I know it's in this list and you're going to review it. Or it's in a pile of sticky notes and you're going to review those, or index cards, whatever. And as the brain begins to trust you, and it doesn't at first, it relaxes. And I feel myself with this relaxing and saying, oh, there are these other details Like, I don't have to worry now. If we don't do this today, I know that I'll still get there. And that's a psychic load. All right, let me do this in smaller steps here. Before I go in on these obfusc annotations, which I think will be okay to remove. Let's say don't need obfusc on that. Now, can I similarly get rid of them here and here? Whoop, not there. Can't get rid of it there because there's a selector. All right, fair enough. But I could get rid of that one. And I'm positive this is only being called from Swift code now. But just to be absolutely certain, I'm going to run my tests because this, you see me running tests, but I'm only running tests for the Swift iOS version. This is also available. The sample is, there's a sample in Objective-C, and there's also tvOS as well as iOS support. And that's just a warning. So I have a script which I use in my my build, my CI. And I don't know why it's taking forever on this, but it seems to be working. What's wrong with you? I'm confident enough at this point because it didn't, like, just having it build is good enough for me. So I'm going to say remove oh, there it goes. Finally. I'm going to commit this. I am happy enough to commit it. Am I confident enough to push it? I am pretty confident enough to push it. I don't know why it's taking so long. It is possibly due to problems I discovered with Xcode being slow to run tests in certain circumstances. Oh, looks like I need to, I need to add a simulator. That's all right. It'll be there on CI. And I'll add it back in. All right. Well, with that, I'm confident enough to do a quick check. I've got these things up here, which I don't think I've shown you before because this is to actually push my code. Let's first get the code. I'll rebase anything. There's nothing there. And now let me push and get it all up. So there we have it. I think let us proceed to say this is now done. And now everything in this row is done. So retrieve handler is done. And this also means I can pop all these off and say thank you and goodbye. And now we come back up here and we see all these are done. Whee! So this is done. So I can pop these off. And now I know where to continue next time. This has been a good hour. Remarkably few hurdles for me. Mudshark, you like the colors? Yeah, I'm liking this. It's very clear. It's also easy. Instead of dragging icons around and saying I better copy this and so forth, because I'm using the built-in functionality. In this case of Mural, for my client, we were on Miro, and Mural. It's probably much a clearer distinction for Diego than it is for us English speakers to say it's Miro or Mural. Sounds the same. Miro and Mural they're a couple different whiteboarding tools. I'm happen to be using Mural here. All right. Okay. I think that's it. Unless there are any other parting questions, this has been a good hour without any significant obstacles this time, and a good exploration, a good chance for me to get more practice with the discovery tree and to feel that empowerment that it gave me of recognizing that feeling in my brain of saying, oh, I don't have to try to remember this anymore. Much easier than updating a Jira ticket with like, oh, we need to add these things and people see what's been edited and it has to be approved or anything like that. Lightweight. Stay light, stay safe. All right. That's all I got. Stay light, stay safe. Lean in more towards agility with coding and with all our lives. Because it's not just about the code. Thanks for coming by, all of you. It looks like there was a good quorum of folks today. This was fun. All right. Do take care. Oh, final parting words for YouTubers who are watching the recording after this becomes available on YouTube. If you've watched to the end, then give it a like and subscribe and hit the bell so that you get my videos. All right.